እስኪ ዘሃቦ أمسدار ترامات عمدار تخلاي ستساح لك ماي ماني رخو تسكي ذهبو.
Hello and thank you for joining us to watch the Appetizer talk show under our channel ImagEnatioN, broadcast from Los Angeles, California. I am Tsagahabte.
My name is Bini Zarai.
As you probably have heard us say many times by now, one of our main goals with this show is to energize and involve our new generation to share their experience publicly and get them involved in a manner that reflects their vision and its aspiration. So, for today, we are proud to bring you one of the amazing young people in our Eritrean community, Sallina Yehdego. Sallina Yehdego is a senior at University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, and has been very involved on campus. Sallina is finishing up her undergraduate year as a pre-medic student, and she is majoring in psychobiology and minoring in global health. She served as a mentor for the East African Student Association after spending 2 years as a treasurer. She is tutor for UCLA's leadership in algebra development and volunteer at the UCLA hospital. Sallina also served as a mentor and teacher's assistant for the School of Eritrean Language, SELA. She is Chancellor Blue and Globe Scholar, as well as Cain Scholar. Outside of academic, she is an artist, a singer, a dog lover, and an active member of the Eritrean community in Los Angeles. Her main passion is medicine, and Sallina hopes to become physician to help aid the future generation in health care, and she aspires to bring awareness in mental health in our community, both local and abroad. Thank you so much for being here, Sallina.
Thank you so much for having me, Mama Tsega, and thank you, Dr. Vini, as well. Great introduction.
We are glad to have you, Sallina, for joining us today. We had you in the past, in our past program, as interviewer, and today it's your turn to share with us, with our audience, your impressive talent. Let me go straight to my first question. I know you are very active as a student and in the Eritrean community. What are you up to nowadays? What are you doing right now?
Well, right now I'm completing my final year at UCLA. It's actually my final quarter, so I'll be graduating in March, which I'm really happy about, but the workload has been picking up for sure. Like you mentioned, Mama Tsega, I am pre-med, so internships, work, and volunteering has been taking up my time. But yeah, I've just been aspiring to be a better me. I'm just pushing through every single day and taking it step by step.
Yeah, step by step, one at a time, right? In your bio, it was mentioned that you are following a career, or you're pursuing a career in medicine. Why do you choose to be a medical doctor?
Well, what really drives me the most is the inequalities and the structural racism that continues on in healthcare. And just also personal experiences that my family and I go through in healthcare, at least in America. And yeah, it's just, I feel like it's not right that many developed countries they have the right resources and they leave out the underdeveloped countries. And I feel like everyone has the right to healthcare, and that's what really drives me. And I've always been fascinated by human anatomy. There's a doctor that I met, an Eritrean doctor named Dr. Mana Hagos, and she said this nice quote where we don't have to really look anywhere to find anything interesting. We have each other. Human emotions, human anatomy, and just humans in general are interesting, and I just find human anatomy interesting and the new discoveries every day. And yeah, we're strong people, and I aspire to be the source of happiness, and I hope to take away the pain of my future patients and their family.
Thank you, Sallina. You are involved in youth leadership in our community and at school. What are some of your leadership roles and why did you get involved in them?
Well, that's a great question. A couple of roles that I had. I was a tutor, like you said, for leadership of algebraic development at UCLA. I also was a teacher assistant at SELA, the School of Eritrea in Los Angeles. After being a student there for 4 years and graduating in 2017, they brought up a position of teacher assistant. I was more than happy to be back and help out the community and the youth. I've also been, and I was treasurer for the East African Student Association at UCLA. I'm currently a mentor for an enthusiastic high school student, so that's great. So yeah, I've just been involved with the community throughout, and I realized that actively participating could get you these roles. So if anyone wants any leadership positions, I say just be active in your community, and yeah, the role will come to you.
Sallina, thank you so much. You are very active all the time. You take care of your parents. At home you are very active. At school you are very active. And wherever you go, you are always the winner or the one that everybody look up to. Where did you get this kind of inspiration?
Well, like you said, I have a lot of passions that I love to do, and I learned while doing it throughout my years that you can't give 100% into everything that you love. And so, and I unfortunately had to learn that the hard way with feeling burnt out so many moments of my life. But my biggest tip is this planning, just mapping out your days the night before. That's my biggest tip. Yeah, I have Google Calendar on my phone. I have it on my laptop everywhere. I have my notifications on. Just write down sticky notes. I have notepads with me everywhere. So I feel like that's what helps me coordinate my days with everything that I have. But, you know, there are just times that you do feel burnt out and lack motivation, and I'm just so blessed to have my family by my side as my support system. They've been my rock throughout, and yeah, they just inspire me to keep on going. Funny story, I'm going off tangent now, but before in high school, before going to UCLA, I never really had that much confidence in my hard work. Just, I guess you could just say because of societal norms and just people nitnacking, you know, just downplaying my hard work, I want to say. But my family always are there to remind me that like imposter syndrome shouldn't take away my successes, I guess you could say. And yeah, I remember my brother telling me, like, Sallina, you're going to go to UCLA. Don't worry about it. Trust me. You'll get in. And when I got in, he wasn't surprised, which is funny, but I was just surprised that I don't have that confidence yet, at least. I'm working on it, but yeah, they've been my inspiration, for sure.
Well, I just want to say you are very, very young. As you know, I'm a mother of two, almost the same age like yours. Yeah, that age is very difficult. I cannot say I was there, but I am in now. I see my daughters. So don't feel bad. You are absolutely doing great. In fact, not only your age, I look up to you. Thank you. Because you are so kind, compassionate, smart, dedicated. So I love you from the bottom of my heart. I want you to know that.
Yes, indeed. We all love you from the bottom of our heart. The confidence thing, it comes on its own naturally as you go. Sometimes challenge you because you're trying to build the confidence. And I know deep in my heart, you are a confident girl. It's just you're not showing it up, and you will show it up with time. Probably this is going to lead us to that. I know you are very good at music, you love singing. Maybe that's a way for you to get out and have that confidence build on it, right? Mm-hmm. So what does music play, what kind of role does music play in your life? And then with all this extra activity you do, how do you manage your time?
Music, like you said, has been a huge part of my life. I've been singing since I was younger. My dad taught me how to play the keyboard and piano when I was younger. Definitely need to brushing up my skills if I ever do go back on a piano, but I'm just so fortunate that I have musicians in my family. And I guess I got my talents from them. I remember back in middle school, even in elementary, I would just always perform in talent shows, school events, and annual showcases in middle school and high school, and I just loved being on stage. I felt my most confident on stage, which is so strange. Yeah, it's just like a whole other person whenever I'm on stage, and I miss it so much. I haven't been singing much or performing once I started my school at UCLA, but I sing all the time at home. I sing in the shower. My family are there to contest that, of course, but yeah, I try to sing whenever I can. It just helps me going. It pushes me through, and it's a good reliever for sure.
That's for sure. But still, how do you manage your time, though? Because I know in Sala, when you were at the Sala, at school, you are a member of many organizations, and even with our community, you're involved in many things. Still, you manage your time. How do you manage your time?
Well, my best friend throughout my life has been Cool Calendar. I have my notifications on my phone, on my laptop, so that's definitely been an aid through my time management, and I definitely just feel like you make time for the things that you love. So,
what is the best thing that happened to you in 2021? How about the most challenge you faced or obstacle you faced?
Well, I want to answer that question. I want to say my biggest challenge and the best thing that happened to me in 2021 was my dad coming back home. I know you two know, but yeah, my family and we all contracted COVID back in 2020 in June, so the summer, and fortunately my mom, my brothers and I, we were asymptomatic or had very small symptoms, but my dad had it worse, and he had to spend the hospital by himself for about 9 months without us. And yeah, it was of July of 2020 that we had to make the life-changing decision of sending my dad to the hospital. And with my mom's quick thinking, I want to say, and with the grace of the health care team as well, and through God, that my dad survived. And yeah, it definitely, that moment made me grow up faster. Yes. Yeah, I'm just happy.
Yep. Yeah. You're right. Our friend, our brother, David, when he went through all that, you as a family, your grit, your determination was so great that he managed to come back, because we all were praying for him. He was all the time in our thought, and that's the one thing that I appreciate. You yourself, above all, your mom, your great mom, Elsa, she was a fighter, and then our friend David, he was a survivor. Our channel followers, just to give you a perspective, our friend David, as Sallina was telling us, he contracted COVID and he went through a challenging and trying time. We have 2 videos that we would like to show you.
Start off by saying thank you for everyone for coming out to this Zoom meeting. I want to thank Dr. Binyam especially for organizing this event. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for all that you've done for supporting my family and I, especially my dad during these times. My entire family suffered from coronavirus in July of 2020. My mom, my 2 brothers, and I were fortunate enough to have mild cases. And by the grace of God's blessings, my dad was fortunate to have survived a severe case, which left him in the hospital for 9 months. The 9 months without my dad were the most challenging moments for my family. And I wholeheartedly mean this when I say this. Your endless love, your support, your prayers, and your efforts are what brought my dad back home to us all. And since March of 2022, this year, my dad continues to showcase his strength and his resilient character. And with your genuine care, again, your concern, and all your understanding, especially for our privacy during this vulnerable time, it's meant the world to my family and I. And the entire community, both local and abroad, have gone above and beyond to make my dad's recovery transition as smoothly as possible, not only for my dad, but also for my family. And yeah, I can't say this enough. Thank you so much for your prayers, your endless love, and your efforts. They're not unnoticed at all, and they're greatly appreciated. So again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And yeah, thank you for being a sense of stability for my family during this unprecedented time.
كدم كدادم دكتور بنيام حوي تعمل ذا بس كنكا إذا بزي تاريخا مسز بك درخة نلقاها تعمل ذا بس كنكا كربتين هاد حواسي بك زلهم هاي تكتس لهم دعني مزح شكري حليفو مزح مكري حليفو أبزق أبزحنا مالتي كلهم ما يتشغلوا عندي درجة 850 حوي بقرين كاسعس شهر قريب الحمد لله يتنفس كل ثياب تاعن كاسعس كله أكسجين اللي نبر بزح كمان أكسجين عندنا لحنا لهم مالتي هذه كلهم كولا على تحتي كلهم يغني الليل زعما تذكروا نوركم صولت تذكروا نوركم زعما حساب كل سمعون يعني كلهم تدول لين يركم كلهم تكست كبر لي أبا مسنجر هون أبا كل بوتات أبا كل تنقل بلاد أنا أتمتع من يري أنا عامين برا من كملس جينا عامين تنجي السلوت هنا كلهم كمل زالكم حسب لنا مالتي زقبركم مو قليل هيكونن بس ترى زقبركم حاجز قليل هيكونن تسبسي وزوج دا هيكونن ما تخمت هون حدايز ما تسلو لازم تعميز مسكنكم تعميز فتوكم تعميز أفكاركم.
Our channel followers, his message was that he's doing great, he's doing fine. As he said in the clip in Tigrinya, 80% he's healed and he's recovered. The remaining, he will be fighting for it. And then he's appreciating all the support that he get from everybody in the community.
Thank you both for putting together the Zoom program to reconnect doubt with the public. Yes, we understand. Yes, I understand through what he went through and through what the whole family went through. In fact, as a whole community, we went equally sad and cry and all the things. But guess what, Sallina? Dawit is back. You would not believe why he texted me and he talked to me on the phone. I said to myself, this guy is 100% healed. His moral, his spirit, his being, he's so high. Don't even question 1 second your dad is not doing what he's supposed to do. He is doing it. But most of all, he is alive. He is alive.
God is good.
God is good.
Yeah, and I just want to say that I really do believe that the community, their aid and their prayers and their endless efforts and love, even though my family, it felt like we were battling it privately, but we weren't. And we always had the community there to remind us that, you know, we have them to fall back on. So thank you so much for that.
What is one thing that defines you, that you have become this lady, this gorgeous lady that I see? You have become so matured. What is that? What is the secret that you are so strong and so powerful?
Well, one moral that I live by and that life has taught me is that anything could happen in the blink of an eye. While we're on the subject of my dad, I want to share a funny story. The summer before I started my 10th grade year at high school, well, my family and I, before the pandemic, of course, we would annually go to Eritrea for the summer and just visit family, just, you know, have a fun family vacation every year. But the thing is, we would fly standby, which if people don't know standby, my dad used to work for American Airlines, the airport, so we were fortunate enough to have discounted or free airline tickets anywhere really. And so we took advantage of that a lot. But the thing is with standby tickets is that you're not really guaranteed seats all the time. So yeah, airplanes are usually full. And this summer, we were supposed to go back to LA, back home before, it was actually a month before we started school in August, but unfortunately there's no planes. So we were stuck in Eritrea an extra month and a half, I believe. And oh my gosh, my brothers and I, we were furious. We were so anxious. It wasn't even about like missing home at this point. Like we were just so worried about the schoolwork that we had to catch up on. And I remember just being so mad at my dad one night, and I was like, if I fail all my classes, it's gonna be your fault. And then he didn't nag at me after. He didn't say anything negative. All he said was, you should know what my mom and your mom and I had to go through when we were younger. And I was like, what do you mean? And then he went on and, you know, like all parents do, they tell their story. But this time it was different. Like he really emphasized that he didn't really have the chance to have like proper high school or like the education that he needed when he was younger because of the war, you know, the fight for independence that was happening in Eritrea at that time. And he had to separate from my family at a younger age, probably even younger than I was at the time. And it stuck with me. And I remember I just looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, what am I doing whining, being a crybaby? Like, there's nothing, like I can't control the situation, so I just have to just try my best. And that's what I ended up doing. I went back to school, caught up on all my assignments, and I ended up finishing that semester with a 4.0 GPA, which surprisingly was one of my best semesters in high school at that time, but that moment really sticks with me. And I feel like it's made me become the resilient woman that I am today. And it's a funny story, but I love sharing it.
No,
It
it's
helps you
not.
to see things in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it does. Wonderful.
It's not funny story. It is absolutely based on true story, and story has to be told. So that's not funny. It is beautiful story. We'll pass it on to our daughters and granddaughters. Anyway, what advice do you have for young people, the one in high school or in middle school or high school who are pursuing the career in medicine?
I want to first start off by saying get involved as much as you can. Rather it being sports, I played basketball, volleyball, and track in high school. And if you're artistic, you know, do music, be courageous. Even if you're anxious and, you know, are a nervous person, you do things that get you out of your comfort zone, because that's the only way that you grow. And I also want to say focus on your school. It's not always about getting the best grades. Really try to retain the information that you're learning in high school, because you never know, you might just be learning it again in college. So do that, and don't be afraid. Like I said, don't be afraid to take risks. There's beauty with uncertainty, so yeah, just go every day, go with the flow. And don't be like me, don't be afraid of failure. Failures make you a stronger person, and take those moments as lessons.
Thank you. Good advice.
Yeah, it's not the failure that defines you. It is how you pick up from failure, and that's what it is, the advice. Thank you, Sallina. Before we conclude our interview today, is there anything you would like to say or you want to add that we have not covered so far?
We need to be more kinder with each other. We're currently going through a pandemic, even though people are saying we're in a post-pandemic, we're still going through it right now. And life is happening so fast, and you don't know, as cliche as it may sound, but people are really going through a lot. So I feel like we need to treat each other how we want to be treated, and even better. We need to love each other like we're our own brothers and sisters, our own mothers and daughters. And with that being said, we're in a pandemic. If you can, please get vaccinated if you can. If you can't, just continue abiding by the regulations. Take your test, COVID tests, wear your masks, social distance if you can, because that's really the only way we'll get through this pandemic. And yeah, I guess just do the right thing, even if it means it's difficult. The right thing may not always be easy. So,
thank you, Sallina. On behalf of the ImagEnatioN, I thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us and to give us so many, not only what you have been going through, but the advice that you are giving is not only for children, for all of us. So I would like to say thank you so much, and be, as you've always been, the amazing daughter and absolutely the great person. Thank you so much for your beautiful answers.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sallina. We are really proud of you. We are proud of your parents, Dawit and Elsa, as well as your brothers, Denden and Isaias. Our channel followers, this concludes today's Appetizer. Thank you for watching. Please leave your comments below or email us at the address shown below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with another episode soon.
Thank you for watching.
حاسبونا نرتاح دخم كلنا برتعنا صادي برتحنا تسلالي وكذا الزوراينا تبيعو سكنا سنتنا دمي قوة خليعو توراريعو أنت نزمو ماني رخبو فتاري بعلو إذ ذهبو رب ذهبو